Hello, everyone. I'm Karen from MIMOSA. I'm also a plastic surgeon by background and a PhD scientist. So I've spent 25 years in the space that I'm going to talk to you about today, which is in skin injuries and wound care. But when you look at my practice at an urban center in downtown Toronto, the technology that I had available to me was really only available for this person down here, which is an adult white Caucasian skin patient. But that wasn't my practice. I was seeing babies, I was seeing people of color. About 60% of my practice represented the global majority, and I had no technology to truly assess their skin. Not only that, they were coming from all over Canada to see me because of my expertise in wound care and skin injuries. The idea for MIMOSA then came on how do we create more equitable technology that can assess all people, no matter where you live and no matter what your skin tone. MIMOSA's mission is to actually save limbs and save lives by making the invisible visible. And I'm going to talk to you about what that means to make something invisible and visible as we go through the talk. Mostly, I guess, people in this audience and people maybe listening here on the videotaping might have never heard about my space. So they never heard about a skin injury, you've never heard about wound care, you've never heard what happens if you have diabetes and you're eroding through your skin. But a healthy foot looks like this. If your skin is healthy, it looks like this. If you're diseased, your foot looks like this. So we don't know what happens until you get that wound that comes to the surface. And the analogy I give, it's like an apple. You buy 2 apples in the supermarket, you think they're both healthy at the core, you take a bite into one, it's fine, the bite into the other is rotten. We can't see this until it's too late. So we're rescuing people in the late stage of that disease, and all they've given me in my practice is a paper ruler to measure the width and the size and to follow that patient over time. After 25 years in this space, I am making my best guess. If my best guess is not good enough, that person ends up with an infection, they end up with an amputation, and 30% of those people die in the first year after their amputation. Is this acceptable? Likely not. Would this happen if it was in other areas of medicine like cancer? Absolutely not. And MIMOSA Diagnostics is actually changing the game in this space. Nothing's changed in over 30 years. And again, I really feel until MIMOSA, we are truly changing the game and leading the technology sector. Every 20 seconds, someone's losing their limb. We have 1 billion people, that's about 1/8 of the global population at risk. And in the US, in the next 10 years, about 1% of your GDP is going to be spent on treating these problems. So people are healthy, we're seeing increased rates of obesity, diabetes, et cetera. At MIMOSA, we do make the invisible visible, and how do we do that? We give the clinicians augmented vision. So it's about looking below the surface of the skin, seeing what you can't see with the naked eye, making what is invisible visible. How do we do that? In the first way is something with infrared technology. We know that during COVID, people were measuring your temperature. Does the skin have a fever? We can see that fever before it comes to the surface. The proprietary portion of the technology is through tissue oxygenation. This is the oxygenation, the territory, is it well vascularized? Does it have good nourishment into that territory of the skin? Again, looking below the surface to see what you can't see with the naked eye. And then we also actually do that digital image, which is important for documentation, and wound measurement, which is important for reimbursement. So we are a full service platform solution for the clinicians. We're FDA cleared as a Class 2 medical device as well as Health Canada approved. We are not a traditional device, however, because traditional devices live in your clinic, you put them on your desk or you put them in the cupboard, but you don't take them out. Medicine is not 9 to 5. Medicine happens after hours, it happens on the weekends. I covered 3 trauma hospitals in the downtown Toronto area. There's no way I could make it to all of those hospitals, but if I could log into a portal and I could see what was happening to that patient 45 minutes up the street, I could say, yeah, that patient's fine, or no, I need to come see that patient, or that patient needs to come see me. That's the first thing. The second thing is, honestly, paperwork, transfer of information is a real pain in the you-know-what. And we need to cut back on some of the work that we're asking our nurses and clinicians and physicians to do. It's smart technology where all of the images upload into the portal, we can integrate into your system, but not only that, as we launch new features in this product, because there's other things this tech can do, with a software update, we can give you that new module. So it means that we're evolving very quickly in the space. We're learning from our customers. In fact, we've moved faster than any other company in this sector. We use machine learning and AI, and I know that's very sexy, but when I was going through my PhD, math was math. Now it's cool, so I was a cool kid now on the block where I probably wasn't when I was doing that. How do we use machine learning and AI? Well, firstly, we have a data asset. In fact, the largest annotated standardized image data set anywhere in the world right now for skin injuries. We've actually solved the melanin challenge. It's not perfect, but we're able to image all skin tones, and we're just getting better and better as that data asset improves. Not only that, if you place a therapeutic, we can tell if it was the right therapeutic and the response to therapy. So it's the first time we've been able to non-invasively, without taking chunks of someone's skin off, determine if the therapy has been effective. The other biomarkers are coming. So as I mentioned, with a software release, we can give you a new biomarker. There are other things this product can do, and again, with regulatory approvals, we can release them, but right now, currently in R&D for other companies. We had to start last year a spin-out, so it's sort of with the company called MIMOSA Labs. There was so much interest in the therapeutic side of our company that we're actually doing the same amount of revenue on the therapeutic side as we are just by selling devices. So it's been a very fascinating space. We call ourselves the friendly in the room. Our customers love the product. It's been the tricorder, changing the standard of care. Our patients are more engaged in their care. And again, the doctors really love this, and I think that's really important as a doctor for other people to like your product. But I think the other piece that was also really important is they've said, by adopting this technology, we are doing the right thing for society. So they call themselves, as they adopt this technology, part of the MIMOSA movement. They see us as a business for good, and I think we did not create that. They've created this for themselves, which I think really changes what we're doing as a company, especially around visibility and sales. Don't take my word for it. It's not enough for the doctor or the nurse to like it and to use it in their practice. You have to be able to sell it to the C-suite or the people or the buyer. We can help you increase your revenue for your clinic or for the hospital, as well as protect your Medicare funding. As your wound care rates go up, your funding goes down. We're able to help you protect that very important star rating. Not only that, if you get a wound of a certain class, there are litigation costs associated with this. About $12 billion is being spent annually in the United States, as well as they're in the hook for the treatment cost. If we catch it earlier, we treat it earlier, it's not reportable, and you can save all of that money. Also, there was a big shift last year in CMS with one of the types of therapies called skin substitutes. MIMOSA is able, through that change, and MIMOSA was part, as well as our clinicians, of changing that LCD, where we become that vascular assessment tool. We can show that there's no infection, as well as wound-side tracking. Again, it's part of this change, which means you have to use something like MIMOSA to qualify the patient for therapy. And not only that, we're a full-service platform, and the only one, again, on the market that can sort of meet all the requirements for that LCD in reimbursement. That led then to both Novitas and Noridian putting published rates for a MIMOSA image. So not only can you protect your therapy or qualify the right person for therapy, you can now get paid per MIMOSA image. So I think that's pretty exciting. We have about 60% of the US covered right now, so you can get paid per image. So, and that working on more, but clearly in the orange represents some of the large populous areas of the US. And then finally, not only that, without LCD changes, we've been able to show that return on investment in hyperbaric clinics. So hyperbaric, again, is another big way of financial return on investment for these clinics. They're big national chains. We work with both of them. So there's about 1,300 clinics, 10,000 community sites. We're about to sign our first deal with one of those national chains. We actually have shown that they can increase their revenue by $100,000 per quarter, and that was at 2 sites in a big national chain. So really showing that C-suite, that return on investment financially. Finally, we have a roadmap going into bed sores and pediatric ICU, working with great organizations. We are going to announce a GPO this week. We have another one coming that covers 60% of the US. We have a great team coming from multiple areas, so cybersecurity, aerospace engineering, me clinically, a little bit of expertise, and my co-founder, who's a systems design engineer. So definitely have a great team on board, a great team of partners who are here in this room, so thank you for showing up, and thank you for anyone that's listening, very fortunate. And our ask right now is, will you help MIMOSA make the invisible visible? So our ask is for investment. We're currently okay. We're looking for money in the next 18 months to help with growth and scale. Strategics who may be interested in distributing our product, as well as if there's any therapeutics in the room who might be interested in partnering with us, we can help you with your clearances, your reimbursement, and your real-world evidence to help clinicians understand why your product is efficacious. So thank you so much for listening and for coming and listening and hearing me talk here. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.